What's up, gente? What's up, Raza? Hey, May Day, Primero de Mayo, that is usually on May 1st. And why is this important for Raza, for Chicanos, for all indigenous people, no matter where you are all over the world, indigenous or not, wherever you're indigenous to, if you're a worker, if you're a laborer, if you are not one of the 1%, the wealthiest people on earth, or even a millionaire, then you definitely should take interest in this because Raza has been working forever in the fields. Our gente have been working in hotels, have been working in factories and food service. A lot of them, oftentimes, yes, undocumented, not because of choice, but because of the structure, the racist structure that we have today in place that keeps people from migrating and going back and forth if they want to work. And unfortunately, they get exploited as workers. And so, if there was ever a date for us as Razas Chicanos to recognize, it is May Day. It is Primero de Mayo. This is something, and ironically, that's celebrated all over the world. And yet, it started here in the United States, believe it or not, here in Chicago, of all places. Very strong, for its workers. Back then, they had a lot of packing houses, a lot of slaughterhouses. This goes back to the 1800s when people were being exploited and workers decided to stand up in Chicago, Illinois, where, here in the United States of America, of all places, right? And yet we don't celebrate it. We don't recognize it. They recognize this in Mexico, they recognize it in Russia, Germany, Africa, and yet here you don't, right? That's a problem. That's a huge problem. So Raza, I'm gonna give you some quick reasons why we need to recognize this day if we can. I know not everybody, can protest, boycott, and say not show up to work. That's a luxury not many people, especially Raza, indigenous Raza working in the fields or in factories, don't have. We don't have that luxury. But if you're able to get out there on May 1st, which happens to fall on Friday, which is Friday this year, uh, join them, join gente, rallies, marches, because it's more than just taking to the streets and, chanting, for worker rights or in support of Raza. It's more than that. It's also, reaffirming that workers are important, reaffirming and recognizing that we need to respect los trabajadores, the workers out there, the ones to do the hardest of the hardest work, whether they're in the fields, packing houses, whether in hotel rooms, cleaning up people's rooms, or raising your kids. By the way, if you happen to be one of the Trumpsters or one of the rich people out there, oftentimes your nannies happen to be underpaid, or maybe they happen to be from another country. So this is the day to recognize the workers. Um, One last point I want to make as to why we should recognize is because a lot of people tend to say, well, you're just preaching that communism stuff. Well, if you know me, that's not what we're preaching here. We are Raza Chicana. We do believe that there's much better economic systems than capitalism, which, by the way, that's why May first started as well, because capitalism exploits workers. It brainwashes other workers and other raza to think, oh no, I'm going to get rich. I'm going to get rich just like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. And that's a fantasy. That is not true. Capitalism, though, keeps you stupid, believing that you're going to be one of those people. So you keep working to the point that you go against your own raza, your own co-workers, and you may laugh at them, right? So hopefully you're not one of those individuals, because the economic system that's got us all backwards is capitalism. The truth is, socialism, it does, and there were a lot of socialists and communists involved and anarchists. I'm going to give everybody credit here in the labor movement during especially the 30s and throughout the world, because they recognize the inequality and the imbalance of power between worker and owner, right? The factory owners. So the importance of May Day is more than just marching. Importance of May Day is more than just chanting, definitely rallying, but get out there and recognize the workers, because if there was ever a time to do a work stoppage, that means strike, refusing to work, make demands, and protest. That would be, for example, like boycotting, not buying the product, or boycotting a store or a product or a company. This is the time now, because this world is coming apart with the clown in the White House. This world is unfortunately in a bad state. And if anybody needed to be recognized today, son los trabajadores. And with that, I'm out. Que viva la raza. All power to the people. Aho.